Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have a special treat for you guys today. I just got finished recording a collaborative reading with a client and a dear friend of mine, and super intuitive, really gifted, beautiful creature in my life. We just did a reading together and talking about some really important things coming in, being anchored in the energy of this full moon. And I just have been guided to do more of these sessions and collaborative readings with people in my tribe and friends of mine, and people from the Hawk's Nest and clients of mine, and everybody that comes to this channel. They're teachers and guides and readers and mystics, and everybody has such amazing, powerful gifts. And some of them are Reiki students of mine. And I'm just here to hold space for that and to encourage those gifts to come out, and to 111 on my recording, to draw out the authenticity and the light of each one of these people, and to allow them the space to be seen and to be heard and to be valued and to be sought out, and to share themselves and their gifts with you, and for you to share them with other people too. So if you have gifts of your own, if you are a reader, if you are a healer, if you speak light language, if you need the space to express that side of yourself, I am here for you, and I want to connect with you in order to be able to facilitate that for you, to record a video, to do whatever it is that we need to do and post it here on the channel, and make this a collective of those expressing their authenticity and their light and their gifts to be of service for the community around us and for the world at large. Us coming together in this way is so powerful, and it's so needed right now, and it is the essence of united union energy that is going to start to change things. It really is. So if you're interested in that, and if you like the way that things unfold in this reading, and you're feeling the call to work with me too, email me. All of my information is down in the box below, or we can set up a session. We can connect in whatever way is comfortable for you. Just get in touch with me, and we will meditate on it and see what it feels like. Okay? So stand by for this reading that's coming up. This is my friend, her site. We talk all about it in the video, but her website and her business is called Samara Soul Scribe. Sorry, tongue twister. Samara Soul Scribe. Okay? I love you guys. About what you were just talking
about the authenticity.
About where your name came from, the name of your channel, and kind of how you want to identify yourself.
Sure, absolutely. So Samara being my middle name, and trying to look at what my business was going to be called, looking at a lot of branding opportunities, and through a pretty quick meditation in an afternoon, it just came through with, I need to identify and use my authentic self, and my middle name is part of that. And I think I spent most of my life not resonating or enjoying my name in general, and particularly my middle name. So it was a lot of coming into my own and being true to myself and loving self, right? Like truly coming into who we are as individuals, and identifying with that piece of me and loving the whole, not just the parts that we want to like or the parts that we think other people will like, but truly loving us for us. And as soon as I decided it was going to be my middle name, I was like, okay, well, what with it? And like I said, it was a short meditation. Within a couple of hours, it became...
That's so interesting that you just said that. You said you decided that it was going to be your middle name.
Mm-hmm.
Did you decide it was going to be your middle name?
Or did my guides? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, what I'm trying to say is that you didn't decide that it was going to be your middle name. You decided that it was going to be your business name, but your higher self did decide it was going to be your middle name. So that at this point in your life, you could tap into the energy of that name that is more in alignment with your authentic self, and present yourself into the world according to that higher plan. So yes, you decided that that was going to be your middle name.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
No accidents.
No accidents. Yeah. So, I mean, it was pretty quick. I knew within a couple hours of that meditation, and I was like, it is about my soul. It's my heart, and Pisces moon, right? So lots of emotion and intuition coming out, and Samara Soul Scribe was born.
Love it. I love it. And I have such a similar story too with Hawk Intuition. I mean, Hawk is my maiden name, my maiden last name, but it's spelled differently. And with all of my generational trauma, and that being my dad's name, my dad's last name, I resented it for a very long time. I resented it as a child too, because it was spelled in a way that's just so hard for people to say and to pronounce, and everybody was always correcting. All of my friends would correct other people. They would say hack, because it's Haak. They would say hack, and all my friends would be like, it's hawk, like the bird. It's hawk, like the bird. And I would just be like, what? It's just how it is. I just accept that my name is going to be said wrong, that I'm not going to be identified properly, and I was just whatever. But my whole life, it was like my whole family says that in order to tell people how to relate to it. Hawk, like the bird. Hawk, like the bird. Hawk. Hawk spirit has always been there with me. Always. So when I was trying to figure out a name too, Hawk spirit and energy always called to me. It was just always resonated with me. I feel a very shamanic presence when it comes to that, and when it comes to me. And I just knew right away that it made so much sense, that it was like, I wasn't rejecting my family name, but I wasn't identifying myself with it either. It was like, here's an adaptation to it, because this is the fingerprint that I put on that name. And I'm embodying the way that we say it and the spirit that's behind it. And I'm not abandoning my family name, but at the same time, I choose not to continue the pattern that comes in the alignment with my family lineage and things like that. So that's where mine came from too. So it's so interesting that, and I went through a couple of different name changes too. Like at first it was Hawk Intuitive Journeys. That's where I started in the first place. I had a little bit of a different plan for what I was envisioning for helping clients and helping people. And who knows, maybe I come back around to that again. But when I started posting more videos and having it be about the readings and the videos and stuff like that, Hawk Intuition felt so much more aligned with where I was then. I feel like at some point I felt very drawn to guiding people in earth work and grid work, and physically traveling to different sacred locations, or any location that we're led to that needs work along ley lines or whatever it is in that specific area, and guiding people there and showing them how to let their intuition guide them, and honing their gifts in order to lead us to a certain space and a certain place that needs healing, or it needs our light, or it needs our codes, or whatever it is, and calling those Hawk Intuitive Journeys. That's,
Love it.
That feels like like an offshoot of Hawk Intuition and part of the brand, but it's a different layer of some of the stuff that I do, and it's something that I really love to do too. I do it so much on my own, and Lloyd and I do it together. But yeah, it's expanded and it's changing, and oh my.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So, okay. Samara Soul Scribe. You have a YouTube channel. You have a website. We'll put all the information for that in the box below.
Yeah. So I haven't actually, this is my coming out party on YouTube, Karen. I have not posted or hosted on YouTube yet.
You haven't made any videos yet?
I have not made any videos. And even my social media presence, I'm not as active maybe as I could be.
Yeah.
But I do some one-to-ones, live remote readings, recorded readings, in-person readings, assistance, right, with persons here locally in my state as well as across our country. And
yeah, where are you?
Currently on the island of Oahu.
It's in the Aloha State.
Aloha State.
Oh yeah, it's doing so much like really lovely Lemurian energy. And so why now? Why do you think now? Because we've tried to set this up a couple of times and it didn't work out for either one of us.
We have, yes, several times, right? And we've been in connection for, I think, over a year now.
God love you.
Yeah, I love you too. It's been amazing, and you've been pretty instrumental on, supporting me through a big part of my journey. So,
yeah. Well, you have to for my journey, and so many people they're so grateful for my videos and for me being authentic and being able to express myself. And there's no way that I could do it without the support network that I have behind me of people who do healings for me and do readings for me and help guide me through certain things that I'm going through. And it's like, I don't do any of this alone. I just sometimes present it alone.
Yeah,
there's so many people, especially you, that have helped to like guide me through things in the background that I couldn't see, that I wasn't able to see, that I wasn't supposed to see, because that's your gift. That's something that you were needing to pick up on for me. And it's just like integral.
Yeah, you had said before we jumped on and started recording that it was time to connect pieces of that web. Yeah. And, to kind of answer your question is mine now. I got chicken skin everywhere. It's the web's growing. Yeah. And more people are waking up, and it's time to be authentic. I've shared some of my gifts with pieces of my family, but I had a heart-to-heart with one of my parents the other day, and I was just like bawling, and I was like, this is so hard for me. And this particular parent is really accepting. And
what was the conversation?
Spiritually coming out of the closet.
You came out of the broom closet?
I yes. So, and then I got a beautiful text message from this person the next day saying how proud they were of me and how they can't wait to learn and grow from my knowledge.
Oh, yay.
Tears, the waterworks were just flowing. So shout out to my family as well for supporting me. And, I think that's a big part of answering to your why. Why now? Because we're becoming more authentic.
Yes.
Right? It's time.
Yes. That's so brave of you. That's so brave. And I've done the same thing. I came out to my very Catholic mother. And I was terrified, and it went so much, and this is a while ago, it went so much better than I thought that it was going to, because at the end of the day, the energies underneath of what it is that we connect to and what it is that they connect to, they're pretty similar.
Yep.
And if you can just tap into that confidence and that love for yourself and just being you no matter what, they can feel that too. And there's been some roadblocks along the way since I talked to her about that. But I think that just reflects the fact that it's, it's scary. It's scary to be authentic. It's so hard. And in a world of just resistance and fear and not understanding the unknown, needing things to be logical and needing things to be laid out and being able to see in order to believe. And we go way beyond that. And it's okay to let them just take their time and catch up a little bit. Right?
It is.
So I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm so glad that we're doing this now. And when I said that, why now, I have my little book over here. It's called Now is the Time. So, and what I do is I just open it to any page. I just let it fall open. And it says, now is the time to write a personal note. Oh, that's interesting. Don't type it, write it with your own hand. It shows you really care. Are you thinking about creating your own deck?
I am.
Okay, because I have been too.
Ooh.
And that's what I'm getting about writing a personal note.
We have a friend in common who's pretty good at graphic design as well.
Yeah, I know. Okay. File that note away. I'm actually going to write that down on a piece of paper like it says. Don't type it, write it in your own hand. It shows you really care. It's an authentic gift. Ooh, I'm getting a lot of downloads about this right now. Hang on. It's an authentic gift in this digital world, a personal keepsake of kindness. It will leave a lasting impression. A letter is a joy of earth. It is denied to the gods, says Emily Dickinson. Wow, that's a really interesting one. And that is not what I was expecting when we were talking about it being time for us to connect and to do this. But now's the time to write a personal note. It's also like we are sharing with people the personal code of us, of our fingerprint, of our authentic self. And so it's like we're connecting with the essence of the love that we have for people, and we want to share our gifts with other people. And it's like writing them a love letter. It's saying like, here, this is how I feel about you. This is how I care about you. And this is what I want to help you to move forward in whatever it is that you have going on right now. I love you. Signed, XO, Hawk Intuition, and Samara Soul Scribe. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels kind of like that.
Personal letter I've been needing to write too. And I'm not sure it's one I need to mail or give to somebody, but it's one I need to write out. So yeah. For any of our persons who are joining or come across this video, right? I mean, you just posted a video recently about take the trip, get on the plane. I think if anyone's feeling called and they know in their heart and their soul, their intuition's calling them to write that letter or talk to that person.
Yeah.
There's so many paradigms are being broken down right now. Right.
Yeah. And we were just talking about like coming out and being real about who we really are and what we really have going on. And this, letting people into our world, people that we kind of have a different persona with, that, knew us a certain way growing up and kind of like molded us to be a certain way. They're the ones that raised us. And it's kind of like, well, this is me now. It's a mix of both, but this is more me now. And there was actually a letter that I wrote to my father at some point in order to express who I was and where I was and seeing the truth and expressing something inside of me that I had been holding back for fear of judgment, of being judged and not being believed and things like that. So that's a little, that feels really good and really strong that there is like a literal note, letter that people need to write. And there's a power in writing it. There's real magic in the expression of writing it.
There is. It's so healing. And there's oftentimes I try to take kind of the easy way out, right? And I'm like, I'll type something or I'll like leave myself a, voice memo or a quick memo on my phone and I'll get those intuitive hits. It's like, got to put the pen to paper. Yeah. You gotta, it's cleansing. It's really cleansing.
Yeah. Yes. There's definitely something that needs to be expressed.
Ooh,
that was
high vibe.
That was a little unexpected. So what are we doing here today? So we just came on and we were talking just before this, and we were going to do like a full moon spread or something like that. I found a full moon spread online that I really like. But it also feels like we need to be a little bit more organic than that we just need to talk about what's present, where we are, and what is happening for us right now. Yeah. So I feel like we should just pull some cards, right?
Yeah, I just got called to Kuan Yin. So
okay.
We got the Lotus Throne.
Yeah.
It takes courage to trust your inner light to ascend to the throne of your own inner spiritual authority, especially in the light of others around. You seem more powerful than your own. You're being asked to trust the light within above all. Have faith in your own heart. Know the divine dwells within, is with you always.
Yeah. Kuan Yin always like tunes me into compassion too. And there's been a lot of, that word has come up a lot with a couple of different people that I've been talking to today and yesterday. So the energy of compassion and staying open to wherever you are, loving yourself, wherever you are, no matter, and we were just talking about that too, like loving who we are now and sharing that with other people and being confident in, I'm going to share that with them because I love myself. I have compassion for myself. And no matter how people look at the fact that I read cards on YouTube, like, I love that about me. I love that. And other people love that. And I get to share that with them. And it affords me so much freedom. And I can express myself in a way that I have a hard time expressing myself in any other way. So no matter how they look at it, how does that ever supersede the feeling that it stirs up when I even just say that? Yeah. Having that compassion and that love for me, no matter what, is something that's like, I've got chills right now, something that's really being expressed. To love yourself where you are. Love yourself where you are. There's so much fear in the world right now. that stops people from expressing exactly what they're feeling or where they are. And there's judgment. There's so much judgment. And so many people are hiding themselves. So, yeah. Right?
So much high vibe. I'm getting a lot of behind her. We've got like the infinity sign.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot. I'm getting like the serpent energy coming through.
Serpent?
Serpent. Yeah.
Right as you said serpent, this card came out, this higher power. It's a number 4. So it's like the serpent, when you say serpent or snake or whatever it is, it feels foreboding. It feels like something we should fear. It feels like it gets a bad fucking rap. That's what it feels like. And I feel like this higher power card comes out to say, look at the bright side, the energy of serpent spirit. What is it showing you? How can we move past the programmed image and response to serpent, like, maybe something from the Bible that says how bad that spirit is, and how can we gain knowledge from what it has to say? What is the higher perspective of it? I'm gonna see if I have it. I happen to have this deck sitting out too, the Spirit Animal Oracle.
Yeah, and going down that rabbit hole a little bit, right? I think of serpent. I think of shedding skin, and I think of the divine spirit Kundalini, and that leads me right into divine feminine energy and awakening. So regardless, right, of our gender, I've got chicken skin everywhere. Regardless of our gender, that divine feminine within us, and looking in and just letting it out. Yeah. Exactly why we're here, right? Being authentic, owning who we are, and not fearing who we are.
Not fearing the feminine side of ourselves, the intuition, the emotion, letting it flow and allowing it to be exactly what it is right now. Yes. You feel like you need to cry. You're in fear. Of course you are. Let's talk about that. Let's let it flow. You're sad. You're happy. A lot of people have a hard time expressing happiness right now too, because they're holding themselves back because the other people are suffering right now. So tuning into the feminine energy, which is intuition and emotion and flow and real, just like ease and grace. We have a hard time allowing ourselves to do that. But like we're talking about, having compassion for ourselves and love for who we are and what we do, we're tuning into the depth of our intuition in this way. And it empowers us so much to put out an energy of healing into the world just by being that. Yeah. And so, like embracing that side of ourselves is really so important right now. It's like so needed. Snake spirit. So I want to look up snake spirit real quick too. Oh yeah, hell yeah. All right, so there's two things. There's an oracle message and there's a protection message. Number one, this is card number 55. So we're talking about major change. 5 is the number of change. And when we have it multiplied, it's like it's being amplified. And I feel like it's being amplified in the energy of the full moon, that the full moon is coming in order to really like set this into place. And snake spirit says time to heal. All of us need healing at times. And when snake spirit appears, it's time to repair, renew, and replenish yourself and your vulnerable heart. Self-care and maintenance work are needed so that your vitality can arise. Give yourself the space to nourish your own well-being. Vulnerability is necessary for friendships and partnerships to work, which means all of us will have tender emotions at times. Be gentle with yourself and others now. Shed the past and step into a new way of being, for vitality is rising in you. It's just like what you were talking about. This might be a good time to honor the work you have done to heal, grow, and repair any damage within you, which is like you and I have contributed so much to that journey in each one of us growing and healing and repair any damage within you, within those you care about, and within your community. Celebrate together how far all of you have come in your healing journey and all that you've created. Yeah. The protection message says, no matter how much you may have lost or how you have been disappointed, you are called by Snake Spirit to shed the past and practice radical self-acceptance now. That's what we really are talking about. Only by forgiving yourself can you move on, regardless of whether anyone else is ready for healing. When your tender new skin first becomes exposed, you may feel uncomfortable. Love yourself and remain vulnerable anyway. I just told somebody this just a minute ago, to stay open anyway. You have been weak, but now you're becoming strong and developing wisdom, and you will do better in the future. Snake Spirit reminds you that hearts can be so easily wounded. Apologies and amends go a long way. Self-forgiveness for your role in what happened can help you heal. Remember, it is the one who is wounded who often has the greatest power to help others to heal. That's a really amazing message for compassion for yourself. There was, I was just texting with someone. She was talking about how she's had to kind of separate herself from people that she loves in her life, who are making choices that she believes is going to hurt them, come back and hurt them later. And so she's had to separate herself, knowing that she's going to experience pain when they go through what they go through in the future. And I said, don't separate yourself from the pain. Don't separate yourself from the pain, because the pain is evidence of how deeply you're able to love. So keep your heart open and love them anyway. Love them for the compassion they have for themselves and the confidence in standing in their own choice. They chose for themselves. That's beautiful. And you choose for yourself too. Love each other in that way, and love each other through the pain, because the pain is such beautiful evidence of the depth of you, Love it. Loving yourself in that way is so important.
Love it. I love it.
It feels like there's something present that needs to be forgiven. Something that people are having a hard time forgiving in themselves. So that self-compassion is it. I feel like we need to zero it in on what is it that we need to forgive ourselves for? What do you have there?
Four of Wands came out, and in this particular deck, it's same gender, and we're talking about healing that feminine energy.
Right.
And yeah, I got master number 11 on the bottom.
It's like abandoning ourselves. It's like abandoning ourselves for who we really are.
Yeah. We got to come home to ourselves, right? Regardless of whatever gender we identify with, right? Or non-binary. It's that feminine energy within us.
Yeah.
And not, like you just said, not abandoning ourselves, right? Being true and authentic. There was so much in what you just read. Oh, High Priestess is underneath that.
What deck is that? I really love that deck.
It is Spellcasters. Yeah, it's not one I use a lot, but with the full moon energies, it felt pertinent. Yeah, I mean, even looking at the High Priestess, right? There's no face.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've never seen a baby in the High Priestess.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
Loving our inner child. I'd have to pull out the book. I don't use this one a lot. It's an intense deck.
Yeah. So there's something, it feels like there's something here that we're needing self-forgiveness. We're needing self-forgiveness for. So you had the four of Wands come out. What was the other one?
Justice. Master number 11.
What was that one?
Justice.
So finding balance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Radically.
Okay. So the Four of Wands to me is sometimes about marriage too. And justice can be about divorce. It can be about court cases and things like that. Some of you need to forgive yourself for a divorce.
Yeah.
For your role in it, for the role in the end of a marriage.
This ribbon tying ceremony, right, is speaking to me there.
Yeah.
Red ties of fate, I just heard.
Okay.
Ooh, that was strong energy.
Yeah.
Some of the people watching this are on an intense soul journey.
Right. What's it bringing up?
Union, like you said, but I'm thinking a lot of persons on your channel and persons, right, that I read for do identify as high vibe soulmates and twins, but I'm feeling like this is more union energy with self.
Yeah.
Overcoming the care years.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Right.
Like that throat chakra is going out right now.
Yes. Yes. And there's so many women on this channel who really are in masculine energy and have been for a very long time. And I'm one of those people too. But a lot of times it's distorted masculine energy because we have wounded feminine that feels the need to protect herself, that she steps into masculine energy because she feels the need to either compete in this world, to earn her spot, to prove her worth, or to protect herself. And it's hardened her a little bit. It's hardened her. And we're needing to, like, oh God, that's so beautiful. We're needing to connect with our feminine and like marry our feminine again. And really honor and create a ritual around coming together into union with our feminine. So many of these women don't realize that they're in masculine energy, though. They're watching readings for divine masculine. It's all outside of them. But really, they need to be watching readings for divine feminine, because that's really what they're seeking. And their counterpart is more feminine energy than masculine, that they don't necessarily realize that. Just today, I had to put this ring back on this is my ring finger. This is my left hand. And I had taken it off for a little while there, but Spirit showed me that the reason that I wear this on this hand is because it represents my marriage, which left hand is your feminine side, your left side is your feminine side. That is my union with my feminine energy, with my feminine. And on it, there's a verse that says, I am my beloved's and he is mine. So it's like the marriage, the union of my feminine. I wear that on this hand. And it's almost like getting married to someone else. That ring will be on this hand here, where I marry a masculine energy, where the two of those come together. So it makes so much sense what that is bringing up.
Yeah, I mean, I want viewers really to hone in on the amount of compassion and acceptance in these women's faces.
Yeah.
The guides are telling you it's no accident, of course, right? That this card speaks of fall, with like the fall leaves and everything. We're getting in, summer will be ending.
Definitely. This card came out as you were showing that too. So another four of swords.
There's something, I mean, we had fives a minute ago, but I had the 4 of cups peek out too. Yeah. There's something going on. And we just had those 4 of wands. So
yeah. So really feel into that. Feel into what that means for you, and feel into there's some healing that needs to go into that. There's definitely some kind of just stillness and healing that needs to go into. I'm having solar plexus clearing right now too. Coming to terms with who you are. We were talking about, it's so interesting. We were talking about coming out of the closet too, like coming out of the broom closet. I think some of you are needing to really are questioning and wanting to come out of the sexual closet. The fact that the 2 women on there were 2 women. Some of you women who are here as masculines, your counterpart may actually be the same sex or something like that. Some of you are maybe needing to come to terms with that and be authentic to who you are. There's some kind of healing that needs to come into alignment with that. Oh, what I'm hearing too. Oh my gosh, this one is the number 4 too.
Okay.
We got a lot of 4s going, 444 right now. What I'm hearing too is that some of you you're women now, you were men in the very last incarnation on this planet. So the last life you were here, you were a man. If you have always had male friends, if you have always resonated with the male personality, or you've always, like, you just get them, I would rather hang out with guys than I would girls. And, this is me. I've always hung out with guys my entire life. I get their sense of humor. Like, there's something in their air that like feels so familiar to me. And, you know, I feel like maybe I was a man in my very previous life, the last one. And so the energy that I seek out in this one is almost more of a feminine. I'm attracted to men though. So it makes sense that my person is pretty much more dominantly a feminine expression of, you know, of himself. So, and it may be that he was a woman in the last life. And so our energies are kind of balanced. Sometimes it feels a little bit confusing in that way, but that's what they're bringing me to is, you know, there may be energies that may be why you're in so masculine energy in this life.
Yeah.
Because of that.
I want to touch on that more because I think it's important, especially if you've got some new viewers and things that are tuning into this or down the road, and you know, as this kind of gets stored in the archives and people come across it. Yeah. Your counterpart's very masculine, right? You and I are both very feminine, but have identified with the masculine energy. My counterpart is incredibly masculine, yeah, but I see him more in that feminine energy too. So I think for those who are just starting out on their spiritual awakening, or they're in this state of kind of confusion, you know, to dive into that a little bit more and recognize that, you know, it's about that balancing and that kind of equilibrium within us. And yeah, if there's parts of us that are wounded that we have to heal, right? Yeah. And so even if we do identify more with one of the energies than another, it's, yeah, you know, because I think there's some persons out there who are going to be a little bit confused, especially as we're talking about like same-sex unions and whatnot. Yeah. You know, that if they're very feminine or very masculine, they're like, wait, but I'm being told that, you know,
of course. Yeah. Of course, we all have both polarities in us. I think I think it's always going to be one is a little bit more dominant than the other one. I don't know that it's ever going to be fully balanced here or that it goes like this. It's going to go like this. But understanding how this one appears in your life and this one shows itself in your life, you know, the fact that, you know, people like me and like I was talking about have presented so much in masculine energy their entire lives, but it has become, the reason for that was survival mode and needing to, you know, protect ourselves. And there's this idea that we need to protect ourselves. The feminine in us is dying to come out though. I want more than anything to just be the emotional me and to be the intuitive me. And I always feel like there's at some point there's something that holds me back. There's something that holds me back. And that's usually when I start to step more into masculine energy. And it's because I feel this need to protect the feminine. The feminine is exposing herself and that's a little dangerous. And so you're going to bring all this attention to yourself and you're going to have judgment. And so tone it down just a little bit. And she's coming back out again. She's the one that's saying, no, it's safe. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We don't need to protect ourselves in that way. The masculine is different than that. He's carving the way for you. He's holding the space for you to be able to sit there in all of your glory and all of your beauty and just be there, be soft, be open, stay open. You're safe to stay open and be you. It's okay. Right? That's the masculine energy, not the like protector and suppressor and, you know, oh my goodness. And that's what we had been doing to ourselves the whole time. So
much in that. So much in that. I felt called to pull out the Star Spinners tarot, which has a lot of same-sex union energy within it. And I got all women cards. And I knew when I was looking at Kuan Yin earlier, I was like, that's a lot of, remember I was saying like the strength and the infinity were coming out in that card. Yeah, we got death, empress, and fortitude or strength, and they're all women.
Oh, yeah, there's so much energy, feminine energy coming forth right now.
Yeah.
Why are we scared of the feminine? Why are we scared of the feminine? I feel fear around it.
There.
I think it has to do with sexual trauma.
That goes, I'm hearing for both genders. So if we got both genders watching, or, you know, there's, yeah, that's on both sides.
Yeah. There's, there's programs. So why are we scared of the feminine? There's programs there that sexual trauma programs were meant to keep her small and keep her from expressing her power. Sexuality, sacred sexuality, is so powerful, so powerful. And she was repressed from like really diving deeply into her expression of sacred sexuality, because it's the source of just such, you create worlds from this place. You create, so, and you tap into your alchemy and your power. And so there are sexual traumas that are programs that are placed there that way. Every time she taps into her sacred sexual power, those programs kick in and they stop her from being in her power, from manifesting from a place of a more pure. It's tainted. It's, soon as she generates that sexual energy, it's like the trauma comes up with it, and then she manifests more of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's like real healing that needs to happen when it comes to there's a lot of healing going on right now, connected to sexual trauma.
Yeah, I've got the wheel and the tower.
I've got Eight of Swords, King of Wands, and the Star card. That's where all of that came from.
Yeah, I got Eight of Swords on the bottom too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
She's stuck in the like the dominance, the sexual dominance.
It's time to heal. You know, we were talking earlier about doing a full moon spread, and part of that spread that you pulled up was like, what's holding us back, right?
Yeah, this is part of it. So it keeps her in victim mentality, which always makes her shift into distorted masculine energy, because she always has this need to protect herself. To protect herself from her own sexual energy, really.
And he goes back to that softness, that vulnerability.
Yeah.
Being open, knowing that it's okay to trust.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that softness. It's like she's become hardened.
You know, we're getting a lot, or at least on my side, because even in this death card, there's a baby, right? And that was also in the High Priestess card. And we're talking about like some childhood wounds or wounds that are earlier in life.
Yes.
For some of the persons watching that we're speaking to, right? These wounds, and they could even be generational.
That's what I was just going to say. We were talking earlier about the family name. I'm having deja vu right now too. So this is totally connected about the family name and curses, imprints being imprinted on you through sexual trauma when you're a child and carried through adulthood. But it's also, it almost makes you a witness of it though. You are like, you have witness energy to this because it's coming through the line and you feel it in your blood, but it's not in alignment with who you are, with the authentic you. And so it's like you're seeing this thing that happened to you, but it's not in alignment with your power and the depth of you. But it was imprinted almost like it was given to you through your umbilical cord or something. That's what I'm seeing.
I feel like I'm gonna get sick.
You what?
I feel like I'm gonna get sick, as you know, right? I feel the emotions so strongly with it.
Oh my God, yeah. She's so clairsentient. So this is solar plexus. Is it nausea?
Yeah, and my gut hurts. It just hurts. And these souls that are watching right now that this is touching, just, we love you, we see you, we're here. Nobody should ever feel alone. You know, reach out to either one of us. You know, you've got the beautiful Hawk's Nest on Facebook too, Karen, support group.
Yeah. They're so amazing. And the reason I know this and the reason I can see this in here and the reason I can feel it is because I've been going through the same thing. Like I have the same fucking story. And I've been putting off, and now, like, of course, now I'm getting emotional. I've been putting off making the video to express it and to just kind of share what's come up and this hidden trauma that I had come up that I've been processing for the last 2 months that's been just almost debilitating. I've been putting it off, and this stuff keeps coming up. And I'm just like, it's going to help so much too. And I don't know what holds me back. From it.
I just forgetting your strength.
It's a very vulnerable place to be. And I think that's the thing is I don't want to present it from a place of victimhood, honestly. I wanted to, I think, heal enough from it to come to a place of owning it and understanding its beauty in my life and knowing what it did for me. But I think part of that is the expression of it, and the sharing of it connects me with other people that helps them to know that they're not alone. And if I don't share it, then I'm kind of still feeling on my own and alone. But okay, so that's part of it though. Is that I feel scared to express it. I feel scared to expose myself. And so even just saying that, I know that there's other people out there who have the same thing. They have a sexual trauma that is, there's this fear of exposing themselves.
That all goes into some deep self-forgiveness too, right? There's so much guilt and shame brought on by those type of occurrences and events, you know, and learning, like truly learning in our souls and the root of everything, that anybody who's experienced that, it's just learning to heal it. And
so, yeah. And I pulled these 3 cards before we started talking about this, but this is exactly what we're talking about. The expression of it, talking about, we were talking about this in the beginning too, just loving yourself exactly where you are, talking about where you are, no matter where you are, even when you're in this energy right here, this 5 of Cups, talking about it and really bringing that message forward, the message of, and sharing that I feel lost. I feel alone. I feel like nobody would understand. That I feel depressed. I feel disconnected. I feel sad. I feel responsible. I feel despair. I feel suicidal. I feel all of these things in connection with, I don't want to live this life. I don't want to live in a world where women are disempowered in that way and used, and people are not given a choice and their power is taken away from them. And all of that, the expression of that is so important because it leads to a whole new way of being, a whole new path.
Yes.
I've been trying to heal it on my own, and part of what's happening too, because of me keeping all of this to myself, is this lack of abundance and no money. Part of my purpose is to share myself and to speak, and I haven't been doing that, and so it's just all being reflected in my world right now. Yeah. But at the same time, it's so beautiful. I needed to get to that point. I needed to get to a point of complete breakdown and despair.
Yeah.
Rock bottom. To know that I don't want to be alone anymore. I don't want to be in that place alone anymore. Exactly, Tower. Yes.
Yeah, and that came out with Wheel, the well, Wheel of the Year in this deck, but Wheel of the Fortune.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's, as you were talking, even, it was transmuting a lot of the energies, and I went from feeling really sick and nauseous. Oh, Page of Pentacles just flew out. Is that what you just had too? Yeah, we're getting repeating cards.
Yeah.
Under my 8 of Swords was the page that just like slid off and just poked out.
That's where the gold is. That's where the Christ consciousness is. That's where the oneness is, and coming together. And it's a collective energy. It's a collective experience that's coming up. It's a collective shadow that's coming up for us to come together, to transmute it together. That's where the power is. That's how we bring it back. And part of the way that I transmute is through speaking it through. And, you know, I'm an air sign. And so creating the vibration of it and talking through it helps to bring it up and transmute it into a higher light instead of sitting with it and being by myself and choosing to hide and feeling like shame. It's shame. That's what it is. It's fucking shame. It's shame program.
And that's,
so I feel shameful. I feel a lot of shame in the feminine energy right now, not just in myself and my experience, but in that the shame in expressing my feminine.
I just cut the deck to the strength part again. That's what we're transmuting, right? That's part of those old paradigms and templates we're breaking down, right?
Yes. Yes. And we were talking about the web too. And I have that channeling that I did. I talk about this all the time from Mary Magdalene that said that there are multiple waves of union. And the first union that needs to happen is between divine feminines that come together in their feminine power. There was a reference to the spider web also in the way that the feminine energies are connected and come together in this type of grid, in this divine feminine grid. And it's so important that they do, in order to anchor the feminine energy onto the planet right now. That has to happen first before union with our counterpart, with the masculine energy within us, can happen. We have to unite. We have to get married to our feminine first. I'm gonna post a link to that in the box below if you've never seen that.
Heal those inner children, right?
Yeah.
Help transmute all of those like ancestral traumas.
Yeah.
I got the Empress twice too. I think a lot of your viewers are familiar with tarot and whatnot, but for those that aren't, we've got our decks, and we're getting multiple cards.
And the decks, I feel like the Empress speaks differently in different decks too. And I actually have that one. I have the Gilded Tarot on that one. But I don't have that other one, and they feel very different from those. So what do they speak to you?
Yeah, so it's exactly where I was going. So on this one, she was feeling very isolated, very sad, very alone, and yet the opportunity, like those weak props, right? I mean, it's the Empress, right? But she feels sad. She feels heavy and wanting.
What does the Empress represent to you? How do you read the Empress?
Abundance, fertility, strength, family, happiness, even so much confidence. And you know what? I was doing a reading for myself last night, and I was told, leave the Empress out. It's important. So here's the Empress in this deck, and this summarizes how I see the Empress, right? So I was doing which energies I need to transmute, what I need to heal, and there were some counterpart energies and things that came up in my reading. But at the root of it, it was, don't lose sight of who I am as the individual, right? And the water flows, all that emotion, right? That rich content of just being so grounded and comfortable in who we are as individuals. Yeah. This is the Empress energy to me. Yeah. This Empress is beautiful, but feels isolated. Yeah. She feels sad and heavy.
Yeah.
this one feels like she's done some growth and she's putting some of this wheat field and harvest into motion, right? She's kind of spinning some gold, but she's not there yet.
Yeah.
So this, I think, is where we kind of started in the reading, and this is where we are right now. This is where I want everyone to feel. And again, regardless of gender, right? This is how everybody should be feeling about their feminine energy.
Right, exactly. I had somebody comment on one of my last videos. It was a man, and he said, I really love your readings and everything. And I just wanted to just remind you about the pronouns that you're using, because you have a lot of men that are watching your channel. But when you talk about the masculine, you know, you're saying he, but it could be a she. And I remind people, it's been a while since I reminded people about that. But you know, the masculine energy is, it is an energy and not a gender. And I feel like there's a lot of women who watch the channel who are presenting in very masculine energy too. So yeah, just remembering that part of it.
Yeah. You and I, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier, piggybacking on what you were saying, right? We identify with a lot of masculine energy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And so much of it is really healthy, and it's movement, and we're creating that movement for ourselves. But there's a lot of times that we step into that energy out of fear or out of survival mode or needing to do things ourselves. And that's when we need to lean more into our intuition and our emotion, and really create and establish a relationship with the feminine in us. Like recognizing when we shift into that protective mode, I think, is really important. Like, when does that happen? That happens when, you know, judgment, for me, when judgment or shame is activated. You know, it looks like it's coming from outside of us. When I feel judgment from other people, that's when I really get defensive, and I'm just like fierce, but in a way that can be damaging. It's distorted masculine for sure, but I've got chills right now. It's when judgment comes in for me.
I'm pretty skilled in the, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna go this direction then, right? We're gonna head that off.
Right. You know? Right. Yes.
You know, we're talking. You and I have talked a lot about how anytime we do readings, you know, we're also healing ourselves as well. So it's you know, all by design. This is coming up.
Yeah, that's why I always like to share where it's coming from for me and my perspective, and how it's being revealed in my own life, because that's like the easiest way for me to translate the information, because it's authentic and I resonate with it. I resonate deeply with it because I am you. I am this energy. I'm not just translating it for you. I am that. So recognizing when you shift into distorted masculine energy, for me, it's when I feel judged. And so all of a sudden I'm defensive and I'm hardened and I've closed my heart down, and I'm just projecting back out again. I'm projecting because I don't want that judgment on me, but really it's already inside of me. It's already there. So if we can recognize, just look for the pattern of when that happens for you. And when you're feeling that defensiveness, that's when we need to consciously bring in the feminine. Bring in the feminine. What is the feminine? The emotion. So what's underneath of that defensiveness? What's underneath of your anger? Your anger is resistance to the emotion underneath of it. Your anger is distorted masculine, resisting the feminine trying to express herself.
Yep.
So you have this emotion. I've got chills again. You have this emotion underneath of it that's trying to come up. So what is it that you're resisting? That judgment is coming from inside of you. What's underneath of that? You judge yourself. Yeah. You judge yourself. Why? Because you have shame? Because you have shame. Okay. You're getting closer. You have shame. And you have fear. And you have sadness.
Right.
Connected to a bad decision or guilt about something that happened to you or that was done to you or whatever it is. Tune into the feminine underneath of that. And you can even feel, like, as I tune into how that emotion is coming up, like my voice softens and I'm not in the recreating of that angry, defensive kind of like fuck off judgment. Like, who are you to do that? But there's nothing is outside of us. We bring our power back into us by recognizing that vibration is coming from within us. So in order to empower the feminine, we have to get to the emotion that we're resisting underneath of it.
Yeah.
What are we resisting? Why are we blaming this other person? Why are we projecting it on them? Why are we only seeing it in them? Because it's a lot easier to see it in other people than in ourselves, because we have created this protective mechanism around ourselves to protect ourselves from that shame that's trying to speak. The shame is trying to speak, but it makes us feel weak.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine comes out when I feel vulnerable, right? When I'm at risk, when I'm vulnerable, I can be hurt, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But and it all, I think, leads back so often to like very similar places, just like what you're saying. You peel away the vulnerability. What's there? Fear. Why? Because I don't want to be hurt. Well, why am I afraid of being hurt? Because I've been hurt.
Yeah.
Right.
What I heard also was that you're afraid of being heard.
Oh.
Because there's vulnerability in that.
Yeah.
You're afraid of being heard. And I feel like this is a common thing for the feminines also. They're afraid of being heard because of what comes back at them when they are voicing themselves or expressing their truest self. They're bracing for judgment. They're bracing for shame. They're bracing for someone saying you shouldn't be that way. Or, vulnerability is really, it's a very exposed place to be, but it's only exposed and feels unsafe when we have a certain expectation about why we're expressing ourselves. If we're expressing ourselves and putting ourselves out there in order to be validated or accepted by other people, then we have attached ourselves to this is only successful. This expression of me is only acceptable if somebody else says it's acceptable. Somebody else validates it. Somebody else says, yes, that's fine with me that you're that way. And so many of us, that's the void that we're trying to fill inside of ourselves because we don't have compassion and accept ourselves. We need other people to tell us, yes, that's the right way to be in order to be accepted in this society. That's the way that we were raised. That's the way we were taught. Do things this way because you'll fit in. Do things this way, dress this way, because then you won't stand out and bring attention to yourself and possible negative energies towards you. Fit in, fit in, fit in, fit in. Sheep, 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 sheep. Mm-hmm. We're fucking unleashing the lions now. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
It is not easy to lead the pack in that way, though, to come out and be you, 100% you, no matter what. I'm not expressing myself because I need you to agree with it or say that's okay. I'm expressing myself because I'm confident in who I am. And that expression in itself is important to the web of life, to this connective grid. And it's light. It's me. And I choose not to live in any other way. I don't want to live in any other way.
Yeah.
Right?
That authenticity.
I feel something in my chest right now. I feel this it's hard to breathe. It's like panic. I feel a panic attack. Feel a panic attack.
As you were talking and energies were transmuting, I went from that pit in my stomach and all of that pain, and I could feel it coming out, and then it went in my throat, and then I was afraid I was actually going to start sneezing, but I was like, you know what? If I do, it's all being released. So going back to our earlier messages of scribing, writing, speaking, transmuting. Some of the persons out there watching, I know, speak your light language, right? Write, however, if it's symbols, if it's words, if it's pictures, speak it, get it out, have the conversations, talk to your support network, reach out to us, join the Hawk's Nest, just there's such, and the tribe is growing and emerging. And if it's not us, right? I mean, one of the reasons you're wanting to do this, Karen, is to show your persons who follow you and work with you, right, of the enormous amount of support and other light workers that are out there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, and that's my goal, is to support them and to help them to shine their beacon. It's that's what this pain is the fear in putting your light out and shining your beacon. But if you don't shine your light, those people who are similar to you can't find you. And that's really what you want more than anything, is to shine that light, and not necessarily to be accepted, but to find the people who are like, yep, I'm the same way. Oh, yeah. Yep, I'm the same way. Because that resonance feels so good. That is what you're, and it connects you. It's part of your purpose, is to connect yourself with other people and to bring that oneness. It's to find that stasis. And there are those people out there that are searching for you too. They're looking for you. Yeah. Absolutely. So I'm here to support you and say, shine your fucking light, because that's what I do. That is what I do. And I don't care who accepts me, but those that also resonate with that are circling around right now, waiting for someone else to say, it's okay. You do it too. I'll do it first. I'll go first. Now you go. Okay. It's all right. You go.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. We got Magician and Two of Cups coming out with that. Yeah. Energy are shifting even in this reading with us.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, so that's what I was going to say too. And I started rocking like this because I'm moving the energy, and that's usually right before like some light language will come out. I have a video that I posted too. Maybe I'll have to look for it and maybe put it in the box below this too. The very first time that I came out and did light language. And I had done it in a couple of private sessions, and it was very terrifying for me. It was terrifying for me because I have no idea if my family watches my videos, and anybody in this kind of world around me that, I don't know, would think that light language is very woo-woo. So I have that video though of me kind of coming out and doing light language. So watch that and empower yourself. There's codes. What they're telling me right now is there's codes in that video to help unleash that for you too. And I just pointed at you, so I'm pretty sure that it has to do with you too. So
yeah, there's you and I've had that conversation before, right? So we're just going to come all out here, all out of the broom closet, as you like to say, right? I've spoken light language since I was a kid, and I used to think I was speaking in tongues, because that's how I identified it,
You are really, but it's imprinted with speaking in tongues is an evil kind of thing.
Yeah. And I remember asking you, I was like, because you were like, do you speak light language? In one of our sessions, I was like, I don't know. But I was like, well, what's the difference between speaking in tongues? And you said religion, and what I heard was definition.
Oh yeah, well, same thing. Yeah. Right? Yeah. It's all interpretation and how you define it.
There's so much. I mean, a lot of the cards we've pulled today are pretty bright, but they were feeling muted and heavy, and yeah, it's shifting. And
mine too.
Yeah. These rainbow colors are just.
Oh yeah, I love that deck.
Yes. It's another one I don't use a whole lot. I'm pulling decks today that are not my go-tos, but the energy called for it, this collective energy. And I got Three of Cups here on the bottom of the.
Oh yeah, those are the feminines coming together.
Yeah. All this celebration, all this rainbow energy.
All that community that we were just talking about, like bring it.
Yeah.
It's like this clarion call to the feminines to come together and unite. Not just the feminines, okay? Not just the feminines, but the masculines too, and their collective, and them coming together in support of each other. And then it merges. It will merge after that too. But the feminines there's also males that are in with that too. It's like
the feminine energy, and I'm really glad that some of your male viewers reached out and were like, hey, we're here too, right?
Yeah. Yes. Well, and that's what he said was, don't forget that you have male viewers as well. And it's like, right, I do. And so few of them kind of comment and come forward. I think that's part of like coming out of the closet too, is the masculine side, or the men coming out of the closet and exposing themselves, and not exposing themselves, but expressing themselves and engaging themselves with the community of people, like-minded people that are around them. I think there's a lot more male viewers that watch readings that then comment and admit that they do, or that there's resonance there. We do have a lot of them in the Hawk's Nest, though. So there are so many men that are in there that are just like expressing the feminine energy in them, but very, very important masculine perspectives that help us all so much too. So they're just like, if you are a male watching this channel, please go over to the Hawk's Nest and join over there, because you are needed there and we have so much to help you with and contribute to. So yeah, we need them.
Absolutely. And I think about a third of my client base is men. And out of my family members, it's primarily men that are.
I love that. And didn't I tell you one time in one of my readings for you that you are going to be geared more towards guiding masculine energies?
I think so. That sounds familiar.
Well, if I haven't, I'm telling you now.
There's a lot through.
I had, just as you were talking before, I had the Two of Pentacles and the Chariot come out. And they don't feel connected yet. It doesn't feel like we got to this yet.
No, and I've got the Knight of Inspirations on the bottom.
Okay.
News, right? So I'm like, the fire energy that I keep getting called to this, but it hadn't come out. It was just on the bottom.
Okay.
But that fire energy, I think, as we're transmuting and moving these energies, it's starting to erupt. I can, whoo. My guys just showed me volcano going, and I think this is about our collective and our audience here who are catching this. Like, things are starting to percolate and kind of come up to the surface.
Yeah. And I feel like I saw the Tower card too when you said that.
Yes, right. Same energies.
I did have horse spirit show up today. There was a horse on that one. Oh, and there's two horses on this one too.
Oh, like they just said, show it again, and we both.
Yeah, and look at the way that these like medallions are glowing here. It's like the heart chakra and the intuition, like combining mind and heart. There's something about horse spirit that's meant to help to do that, to anchor it down into your heart space.
My guides are telling me to, throat's going again, to not run from, but run to, right? So like run to your authentic self, run to your tribe, not run from things. Not you specifically, collective.
Yeah. Well, I am collective, so I guess me too, huh? I feel like I've been running away from the tribe just a little bit. I've definitely pulled back, and it's okay because there is this need for kind of isolation, and but it really is time to come back together and unite.
Yeah, there's some, like they're saying, don't get spooked, right? So we got this beautiful firework up here in the sky, but they're like, it's, don't get spooked by the noise. Don't run from, like run to.
Yeah, and horses do get spooked very easily, so that makes sense. Okay.
Run to.
And the Chariot is all about movement forward.
Right.
It's about moving forward.
I'm hearing, don't forget who you are. Oh, and that was the feminine side. Don't forget who you are. Ooh.
Yeah.